Hello everyone, welcome to the Jupiter-Saturn Great Conjunction. Try and monitor the comments as best I can, but tonight you're looking at a live wide field shot at the moment towards the direction of Jupiter and Saturn. If I try and zoom it in, let's see if we can see it. Bit hard with a small lens, but that's a bummer. Righty, so let's have a look at what we can see. Here you'll see Saturn and Jupiter very close together. If I open up the program and adjust the gain, because Jupiter's so bright, see what we can get. Okay. See some of the banding on Jupiter. Whoop. Sorry guys, sometimes the mount can be a little bit pedantic at the moment. Just give it a second. Okay. So, hello everyone. Who we got here? Cassie from Townsville, Deborah from Clumber, Brad from Delcha, not sure where that is, Chris from Mackay, Mara from Cowbar, Shell from Toowoomba, John from the Philippines, that's a long way away, Rachel from Tambourine, Wendy from 3 metres away, and Marian from Toncurry. So, of all the things with the weather tonight, we weren't expecting to actually get this. Forecast was supposed to be for cloud and plenty of it. So it looks like tonight we get a chance to see this very rare spectacle. Apparently the last time this occurred was about 400 years ago, but it was in the daytime. The last time it was visible at night was 800 years ago. So we're at least able to see something which not a lot of people get the chance to see. Now, with what we can see at the moment, if I adjust the gain, you can also make out the moons around Jupiter, as well as potentially some around Saturn. Now, if I open up a different program, and take the opportunity to rotate for what we can see, something like that. What do we got here? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the main moons of Jupiter, and one wayward star that seems to be in the background. We've also got with Saturn what appears to be the 6th brightest one. I wish I had my cheat sheet to be able to look that up to tell you which one it was. See who else we got. Leah from Sydney with clouds and rain, so thanks for joining us. Mark from Kingaroy. Brad between Elora and Warwick. Okay, just down the road. So I wonder if there's any questions from people, not that I can answer much with all the stuff that I've got going on at the moment, but what you're seeing is obviously Jupiter and Saturn very close together. For those that don't know, Saturn is much further away behind Jupiter. So if it was to pass, it would be behind it, not in front. If it happens to be in front, there's some kind of apocalyptic scenario that's been going on, in which case, you know, bad things might happen. For those of you wondering what it is we're doing tonight by way of imaging, I just changed this over to a different view. You guys see. Righto, so all we're using is a 10-inch go-to Dob with a ASI 290 colour camera. The go-to Dob's helping to track what it is we're seeing without me having to adjust the mount very frequently. Righty, have a look here what else we've got. Ellie from Warwick, Robert from, I don't really want to try and say that, Wagana, New South Wales, Victoria border. Julianne from the Gold Coast. Larissa, Tambourine. For those, okay, zooming in on Saturn. So the best I can do is, because the actual zoom itself is fixed, the only thing I can do is effectively a digital zoom. So that is as good as I am able to do it. Keep in mind that these objects are something like 2 seconds in the sky, which is very, very, very small. So that's the best I can do with what we have available to us at the moment. And you'll see that it's a bit shimmery just because of the atmosphere. Change that to 100%. What else have we got? Code from Carolee. Faber from Sydney. Malvika from England. Okay, there you go. Jason from, doesn't say, but we know he's local, member of the club. What happened here? So it looks like we've just got a little bit of cloud in the way. Which I'll see if I can show through the camera. Bit hard to see, but if you look just to the left of the Christmas tree, most of that's cloud. So we'll just have to wait for some of that to pass to be able to see again. Righto, so still got the cloud in the way. It looks like it might be a couple of minutes, guys. But if that's the case, I'll change it back to the wide field and just go silent for a couple of minutes. So guys, so it looks like we're going to get a chance to see it coming back out of the cloud again. Oh no, it's just gone back behind it again. For those at home not sure where to look if you get a chance, jump outside, have a look low on the horizon, not too low, but about thumb to finger above the horizon, due west. You could see visually two bright looking stars in the sky, which obviously aren't stars, they're Jupiter and Saturn. Shouldn't be much longer for the cloud. Just about. Out again, guys. So the best I can do sometimes when the cloud comes exposure, not that it helps much, but we're definitely reliant on cloud disappearing. What else have we got? Shell from Toowoomba. Yena says hot dog. I'm assuming you probably mentioned that about how Saturn looks. I guess interesting looking hot dog. Mal from Byron Bay. Cloudy down there too. Yeah, well the cloud was very touch and go for most of the week, so this is very, very much last minute for the sake of doing a stream. We're potentially looking at maybe doing something in the fields in some parks and that, but yeah, the fact there was cloud around it with short notice, decided to do the stream in case that was our fallback option. Just adjust the gain again so you guys can see Jupiter a bit. Like we've got some cloud again. Just with a few more comments. Alana, I read it's best visible a bit late, 11 p.m. AEDT. Is that right? I think 11 o'clock, that's when it's well and truly set below the horizon. At that time, it's probably maybe more west coast of Australia, or maybe even South Africa, but for us, it will well and truly be set by then. So this is your opportunity to see it as close as it is tonight before it sets. I would give it maybe at most another hour or so, depending on your horizon. But obviously, other parts of the world, as it comes around, the totality, I guess, if you want to call it, where it's at its very closest, is possibly going to be this 11 p.m. time. So no doubt NASA and the like will have other live streams from other places at that time. If you're interested to see how much it changes, obviously have a look for them. What else have we got? Mal, so what scope and camera? So the scope is just a Skywatcher 10-inch go-to Dob. The camera is just an ASI 290 camera, which is a very, very, very small sensor camera, which has helped to really zoom in on the planets as they are now. No Barlows, no nothing. The only difference is I believe it's a no IR filter, which means that it's also letting in some infrared, so some of the fainter red wavelength as well. Not that it makes much difference for visual, but if you're starting to do some imaging work, it helps to bring out some of the more faint red light. And that's about it. So just capturing the images in sharp cap. What have we got? Ben looking west. They're very close to each other. The brighter one on the left is Jupiter. So memory serves, Jupiter's about -1 point something on the magnitude, where Saturn is about 1 point something on the magnitude. So you're looking at the order of 2 to 3 magnitudes difference in brightness. That's mainly because Saturn is much further away. So let's go back and play with the exposure again, and let's see if we can see those moons. Okay. If I get my phone, let's see if we can work out which ones are which. Okay, so it looks like with Jupiter, the moons that we can see are Io, the innermost one, Europa. This one here is a background star. And then we've also got Ganymede. With Saturn, if I just change what I can see and get my orientation correct, it appears that this one here is Mimas, and it appears that this one here is Enceladus. And if I can just make it out, there's one here which is possibly Leone, and I believe there might be another one I can just make out here, which will be Rhea. And if I change slowly field of view with Jupiter, you'll also see Callisto. Got here by way of sunset in the Philippines. Yeah, I think you guys are 2 or 3 hours behind us at the moment. More people from the Philippines. Hello from so far away. Mel has a 10-inch go-to dob too. Cool. Actually, 6 dobs. Wow. Okay. That's a collection. That out North Coast. Yeah. So, very touch and go for us too. It was only about 10 minutes before starting the stream that it actually came good, so very good to see. And by the looks of it, we've got maybe another half an hour at most before more cloud comes in. Ben, feeling insignificant all of a sudden looking out at that. Yeah, well, when you realise how big these planets actually are and how far away they are, I guess it puts things into perspective. Vanessa can see it from Horseshoe Creek, Kyogle. So, who else have we got? Claire from Munrooban. Harry from Canberra. How many people we got seeing at the moment? 158 on Facebook. That's cool, guys. Thanks for coming and seeing. Vincent, what time will we see it here in Warwick? You should be able to see it now. In saying that, in your general direction, I can see a bunch of clouds. So I suspect that if you can see that part, you'll have a chance of seeing it. Just go quiet for a second, guys, and get a drink of water. One other thing to note for guys is tonight, this particular event being a conjunction, not the same as an occultation. So the difference being is that the conjunction means that the two objects are getting close together. It happens quite often, things like Venus getting close to Mercury or the Sun, depending on when you're looking at it. But it's not an occultation, which means that one object will pass in front or behind of the other. So these two won't get much closer from our point of view, but that's the closest that they have been in some 400 years, which is quite amazing. Who else have we got here with some comments? Tanya from Harvey Bay, that's a long way. Some more people from the Philippines, that's nice to see. Vincent, is it way east? No. So look towards the west. It's about west-southwest, not to confuse you, but look towards where the sun set this afternoon and you should see it a couple of degrees above the horizon. Jeanette, how close to the moon is it or to the horizon? I think the trees are in the way because I can't see it. The moon is a long way away. It's almost straight up. If you look towards the west, and it's about at the moment, put your knuckle from your thumb on the horizon and you look at your pinky knuckle straight up. It's about that far above the ground at the moment. Marlene reckons deserves champagne. Not a champagne drinker, but I'm sure I can get on board. Vaughan's in Brisbane, it's cloudy. Yeah, well, that was one location we were thinking of having a look, but it was too risky to go travelling, so we decided to do it here at the club at Laraval. What time would I see it in Chinchilla from Jody? Possibly the same as before. You should be able to see it now. So Chinchilla is what, 4 hours from here? So yeah, you should be able to see it now. It's just above the horizon, that's all. Carolyn from Adelaide Hills. And Jeanette, yep, eye in the trees, that's it. Rightio, what other comments have we got? Have a look at you fellas on YouTube. Apologies for the name, but Yogi, I'll just shorten it, needs more views. Yeah, can't agree more. Pickles from the Philippines. SSP, did it happen already? No, it's happening right now. Still got at least an hour to go. 3 p.m. in India. 3 more hours for sunset. So you guys being a bit further around the world, got plenty of time. What time will it happen Eastern Standard Time? I'm assuming you're talking either Brisbane or Sydney time. That's the case right now. Yogi, they're millions of miles away. Yes, if memory serves, I think Jupiter's about 700 million on average, and Saturn's about 1.4 billion kilometers away on average. So yes, very, very distant between each other. Julianne, so why are the meditation groups meeting at 4 a.m. if this is happening now? I can only assume what they're waiting for is when it's definitely going to be at its closest, which will be not visible to us, at least here in Australia. So it would be on the other side of the world. That might be a reason why. I don't partake in meditation, so I don't know what that means. Cindy from Victoria Point, good clear view, good to see. Maralu, Salamat, okay, Filipino, there you go. Thanks for streaming special show. Cloud cover here so thick, no chance at viewing the conjunction directly. Yes, that was like it was going to be for us, but we're very lucky the clouds have parted. Sharon, live in Boona, what side will Jupiter be on the moon? If you look straight up at the moon, okay, which way would you be facing? If you look towards, I guess we'll say Gold Coast, it'd be behind you towards the west where the sun set. What time will I be able to see in Hawaii? Sorry, Michael, I don't know the answer for that. I would suspect that if you have a look at what time NASA has as part of their broadcast, that might be the similar time that you would be able to see it. If memory serves, Hawaii is something like 16 hours behind. But potentially up to 16 hours from now. What time in Mongolia, Central Asia? I think the general rule for most of these people is it would be after sunset. That's mainly the only thing I can give you. Gregory can see clearly from Albany Creek in Brisbane. Thanks for live feed too. No dramas. Tracy from Bargo in New South Wales, raining, so won't be able to see it. Oh, it's raining, so when will we be able to see it? I haven't got the thing on for the weather in front of me, but I suspect that you may miss it, Tracy, so you're looking at it from here. That's probably the best you're going to get. The only other thing is that at the moment, if you happen to see it tomorrow night, it will be a bit further apart, won't be as close as this. Nonetheless, still close. Catherine from South Cebu, it's clear. See. Irwin, clear in the west at Springfield. Got some nice frames. Another imager I see. Denise, sorry, I'll hang on. I can click see translation here. Let's see how this works. Yes, everyone can see it. Unfortunate to see that it's cloudy at your place. What do we got here? Yogi, how to get your short name right? Look, it's an educated guess. Delek, what's your time? So for us here, it's 7:50 p.m. We're 10 hours ahead of UTC, so that's Greenwich Mean Time or thereabouts. Go up in exposure, yes. Okay, Yogi, so I'll do that for you. Yeah, thanks, Todd. I'm not sure what happened there. To be honest, I can't remember why that was turned off. Might have been when I had to change different inputs. Sorry about that. Pen. So what is it we are seeing on the screen? Jupiter and Saturn. Yes. So the big ball on the left-hand side is Jupiter. This one here. The one to the right is Saturn. But unfortunately, the clouds are starting to come through again, and I can't increase, or maybe I can. I'll increase the gain a little bit, and you can start to see it again. But it's very grainy because it's having to see through all that cloud. But at least at the same time, you can make out some of the moons as well. So we've almost been on for nearly an hour. I'll let it go for another couple of minutes as long as I can. But very soon I'll have trees also to deal with myself. So does anyone have any other questions before we finish up shortly? Mal, North Coast Astronomy. Wonder where that's from. Hopefully you can elaborate on that for me, Mal. So we're from the Scenic Astronomy Association, and we're down south of Bow Desert. Might just happen to be a nice night, not that we were expecting it, to be able to come out and see this great conjunction. And for those of you that are still here, we are slowly going to try and get into some of these things a bit more frequently. Unfortunately, they do take a bit of effort to get set up and you know, put together. But we are trying to do these little things as best and as frequently as we can to have you guys interested. But for those of you that are still here hanging around, I can, before closing the stream, go across to the moon if you'd like to have a look before we close up in the next 5 minutes or so. Well, the moon, by the looks of it, is about first quarter, so that means that that the terminator line between night and day is more or less straight down the middle. With this particular camera and telescope configuration, it's very, very, very well magnified, so you'll also be able to see some of the craters pretty well. MP, how close? Without knowing how you want the number, by angle of sky, it's about 5 minutes. In comparison, because it's a conjunction where they're both in the same direction, if memory serves, I think the average orbit of Saturn is about 700 million kilometers or something like that, and Jupiter's about 1.4 billion. So that means that they're about 700 million kilometers apart. Okay guys, I'll head on over to the moon now. So bear with me. You can see how it tracks across the sky when I press the button. Righto. So we're very close. There we go. The moon. Now I'm just going to change it to auto mode just to make it a bit easier for me. Now, because it's very well magnified, I have to turn the manual off by the look of it. Because it's very well magnified, I can't do much by way of, I guess, changing what it is I can see. I can only adjust the exposure. And unfortunately, I'm not an expert on the moon, so I can't point out anything of note. That would be another member of our club who's very, very knowledgeable of the moon, but as I said, with short notice, just had to make do. What you can see is you can see some asteroid impacts with a bit of scattering, like this one here, for example, almost like rays. And then when we come over to the terminator, and see how the shadow is cast inside some of the craters. It just helps show some of the relief on the surface, and it gives you a bit of scale as to how large some of these craters actually are on the surface. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, especially for those that can't see because of clouds or rain or whatever other little things are going on in the world at the moment. As I said, we are going to try and keep doing these sorts of things a bit more frequently, at least as best we can. And it's just one of the ways that, in the absence of the Star Party and those sorts of things with the restrictions and stuff that we currently have, just gives us something to do to not so much educate, but at least give you guys something to enjoy, something to see, and understandably, a lot of people don't want to get out and about at the moment. So it's just a way that we can help bring the astronomy hobby for us to the masses. So if there's anything that's of note that people hear of, please let us know. We'll try our best as best we can to do these things more often. So thanks guys, and we'll see you all next time.